Robert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Rental Store. Thank you for joining us on episode 286 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Trevor. How's it going, Trevor?
Good. How are you?
I almost asked you how your Thanksgiving was, and I was like, oh, wait.
It was good, but yeah.
happened a month ago, but yeah, it was great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was yours? I know you were traveling. How did all that go?
Oh, as fun as it could. So I mean, I'm not going to get into a whole thing, but on
a scale of like okay to National Lampoon Christmas Vacation,
not National Lampoon, but
okay. Did Cousin Eddie show up?
Yeah, no, Cousin Eddie did not show up. In fact, it was all the guests at the actual Thanksgiving were extraordinarily pleasant. There was none of the, you always get this stereotypical thing of like families that like fight about things, and like about differences and things like that, for whatever it is. Didn't have any of that. The problem is, and I'm probably speaking to a small set of people here on this one, but traveling on the East Coast is a nightmare. Like,
I don't feel it's exclusive to the East Coast.
No, but
I feel traveling this time of year is just difficult.
True. Yeah. But very specifically traveling through the Baltimore, Washington, D.C. area.
Oh, okay.
Is a total nightmare. Just in general, right? And like anybody from this area will tell you, it's like really bad. So we actually decided, we broke our trip up. We decided, because my wife doesn't love driving. It's a 10-hour drive. And I don't mind driving 10 hours, but I know the wife and kid don't enjoy that. So we decided to break it up, go about 6.5 hours, 7 hours, and stay at a hotel, and then drive the rest of the 3 hours in the morning. Great plan, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Well, we get to the hotel late, because we hit a little bit of traffic, and so it's about like 10 o'clock, right? And so we try to all go to bed, and my daughter wakes up in the middle of the night, and she's got like an insane fever. No. I don't think I ever felt her warmer than I felt like there. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And I'm like, and of course, I had stairs.
Where's the nearest emergency room?
Well, see, here was the thing, right? So it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and before we left, I had like stared at all of the, the kids' medicines, because usually I'll bring that stuff with us. I'll bring the Tylenol and all, just in case, you never know. And I stared at it, and I'm like, nah, we're not going to need it. We're fine. We're good, right? So I brought nothing as far as that goes. But luckily, because we were staying in the DC area, there was a 24-hour CVS. So I at 3 o'clock in the morning ran out to CVS. And it's like 20 degrees out. I'm wearing, like gym shorts and a t-shirt. But my daughter was a little sick. I mean, I think everybody listening to that last episode could hear that I was sick. So then my daughter also got sick. And so that made for a little bit of an interesting trip, but it wasn't that bad. She was fine. It's, she's like cold, but Thanksgiving itself was good. Had a lot of food, like a lot of food. It was good to spend time with family, that kind of thing. But the trip back was horrific.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, we sat in like stop traffic. We left on Saturday, right? Which is supposed to be the good day to go, not Sunday. At least Sunday is supposed to be a bad day. Right. So we're like, all right, we'll leave Saturday afternoon. We'll be fine. Right.
Get ahead. So the thing is, get ahead of the normal rush of Thanksgiving post whatever that
Huge
is.
Mistake.
Yeah.
Huge mistake.
Really?
I mean, it literally took us I think it took us 4 hours to go like 60 miles. Like it was so bad. so bad. But we made it home. We're fine. All's good. So the only problem is, Trevor, and this is why you guys have it right, is, we got back on Sunday. And then it was like we were, we wanted to decorate for Christmas, but we were tired, like we're from traveling. And it was just like, we don't want to deal with Christmas right now. So now we're here a week into December, and we are only like half decorated for Christmas at this point, which is, kind of a bummer, because usually we use that weekend after Thanksgiving to start decorating for Christmas. But we just didn't have that opportunity this year, which kind of threw us off a little bit,
That's funny, because I think I've had my Christmas tree up now for about a month.
So but do you do it after your Thanksgiving? Is that?
Well, no. So we do Thanksgiving and then we do Halloween. And if my wife had her way, she would have it up like November 1st because she loves like she's like Disney, where she would love to like transform the house from Halloween to Christmas overnight, which I'm not doing. That's way too much work.
It's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah. The nice thing is because like we start putting everything up in November because we have time. And, it's not that we're like full on, like everything is Christmas, but, we kind of like, we'll do it in sections too, where it's like, we start, we bring stuff up, we start decorating, we just get it out. And then, as we get towards, middle to end of November, then the Christmas lights come on and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, yeah, it's just fun. Like I didn't even think about that from the U.S. Thanksgiving standpoint. That like, yeah, you guys do Thanksgiving and then it's like you're doing the Thanksgiving and then Christmas like immediately. Whereas we have a lot slower burn on it. And around here, like I guess I shouldn't say nobody does it, because I guess actually a lot of people do decorate. Like I do see it through November. Like there are people that have like their lights up and whatnot. But everyone kind of does it on their own schedule. Like it's not like a rush to do it, right? So, yeah. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there again for you. And we can totally adopt you for Canadian Thanksgiving in the future. It is a lot easier.
It's not a me problem; it's an everybody else problem. I'll do Thanksgiving at that time, but then I got to convince the rest of the family to do it at that time.
No, you don't. You just tell them to respect your
my beliefs.
Yeah.
My belief in Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yes, exactly.
Oh man, no, it was that's a great idea. I would love to do it that early because it makes things easier. It's just there's too much going on this time of year. It's just it's a mess, and work and all that stuff. It's just gets crazy this time of year. Trying to buy gifts for people. I mean, are you done with your Christmas shopping?
Oh yeah. Okay. Again, because I mean, we're also
finished. I just finished.
We've talked about this before too. That we like my wife like starts making lists for people. Like she doesn't make her Christmas list. She starts making lists for what she's going to buy other people in September. So
okay, well,
she starts well ahead of time. I don't start quite that early, but yeah, it's like November is usually I get all of my Christmas shopping done, and I'm usually done by December 1st because I refuse to go to the mall in December.
Oh gosh, no.
Like I don't want to deal with any of that. And I know like with Amazon and stuff, it's easier now. Like you can get stuff quicker, but even with that, like, we were talking about before the show that, there's definitely issues with shipping companies right now.
Yes.
For anybody that doesn't know, in Canada, we've been having a postal strike for the last month, which is making things, super fun to get stuff around. So, so like I just don't want to deal, like I'm against dealing with the rush of everything. Like I love Christmas and I love enjoying Christmas. I hate the all the people. I hate all the people shopping and the craziness of it, right? So I do everything I can to be like well prepared, well ahead of time. I have my stuff up. Our house is decorated. We have like the only thing I have left to do is wrap gifts, and then I'm ready for Christmas. So
yeah. I don't think I've gone shopping in an actual retail store for Christmas in a very long time. I very much prefer to do everything online if I can. We can't always, right? Like, but most of the time you can now. I mean, there's very few things you can't get online. So most of my stuff is done that way. But I mean, I've wrapped up everything at this point. I mean, not the presents. The presents still need to be wrapped, but it's been an interesting holiday season so far. Anyway.
All right, so why don't we talk about some DVC news, because we did miss a week. And
of course,
because we missed a week, that we missed the announcement of Reflections,
Reflections is dead. Long live Reflections.
No longer Reflections. We are now dealing with Disney Lakeshore Lodge, which is a better name.
A better name. Yeah, they did better. They did a better job there. It doesn't sound like a day spa anymore.
Although I feel it is a point of confusion for people, or the whole Wilderness Lodge area for DVC is going to be very confusing.
Okay, yeah.
If you think like because there's Boulder Ridge, there's Copper Creek, and now there's going to be Lakeshore Lodge, which they're all close enough together that if you're not really paying, or sorry, and there's also the cabins at Wilderness.
That's true. Yes,
Lodge. So
that's true.
So there's 4 separate DVC properties in very close proximity to one another, which is not unusual. Like I mean, there are the other hotels like like the Polynesian, the Grand Floridian stuff, but my issue with it is that these are all very closely themed to one another, which means that, people are not going to necessarily, like, they're going to think that they're, I'm staying at a cabin. No, you're staying at Copper Creek. Like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
like I can see stuff like that happening. Right.
Yeah,
that,
exactly.
People don't understand what's what, or they're, if you're not actively paying attention, I can see where, it's great that they're doing this, but, yeah, it would have been nice if they, I guess, themed it as something else besides like another lodge.
Yeah. It does look it's going to look different though. I mean, it is going to look different.
It does. Yeah. It does look different than Wilderness Lodge for sure. Looking at the art.
Yeah. What's interesting. So first of all, I should mention, I tried to find an official announcement for this and I could not find one. So it seems like this news is coming from Scott Gustin, who, to be fair, is pretty well connected. He's always right.
Yeah. He always has the inside track, it seems.
Yes. Yeah. And he's also saying this is going to be targeted for 2027 opening. I've seen some construction photos already. Like, they're already going vertical real fast with this thing. They also are saying that this is going to be the same footprint as the original Reflection plans. Now, whether that means the same design, I don't know. I mean, Disney really hasn't said anything about it yet. We don't know because the original plans also called for some cabins as well. That actually there's some pictures for. Go ahead. Sorry.
I wonder if they traded that off because of Fort Wilderness cabins.
Maybe. I mean, these are different cabins. So these are like on like stilts, like facing out to the.
You're right. Yeah. These are like Polynesian bungalow type.
They are. Yeah.
Cabins. Yeah.
I mean, part of me is hoping they keep the original concept, because I thought the original concept was really nice. And I mean, I'll send you this, Trevor, because I don't know if you remember the original. Some like photos had leaked of the concept art for like the rooms and the lobby and everything, and it was very nice.
I vaguely remember, like you're talking the reflections.
Yeah, of reflections. Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it looks incredible, and I kind of hope they keep that. I mean, maybe they tweak it. I don't know, but I mean, I don't think that this is like, this design is no longer in style because it's been like 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, I think they can easily still do this. Maybe they just changed the name and they're going forward with the exact same plans. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but I kind of hope that they stick with what they had originally designed, because there's some really, really interesting stuff here, and it's very nice and very upscale if that's what they decide to do. So, go ahead. Sorry.
I get the feeling that, just looking at, the very first leaked concept art, like, does look very much like what we're seeing right now for Lakeside Lodge. So that's fair to, I wouldn't say that they're just going to copy paste it per se. I'm sure that they're using it as a base for whatever they're going to do. I feel like some of the stuff that they had planned is probably not going to happen, because it honestly looks pretty busy
busy.
Yeah.
What do you mean by pretty busy? Like,
like with the wind thing, like there's that whole Pocahontas thing, and then there's weird domes, and I don't know. I just feel like it's a little too much. Assuming that they go with that concept art, right?
Yeah, I like it, but I get what you're saying. It's a lot. And this also, the images that we have here also have like a cool restaurant surrounded by glass that's right on the water, which I'm all for that. I love that idea. Like, let's do that. And then, these cabins, which will be absurdly expensive and, will cost way too many points. So, but the other thing that people are speculating on too, is that this is somehow going to be tied to the cabins at Fort Wilderness. I don't know if I buy that.
Oh yeah, no, I don't see that.
Yeah. 'Cause this is very clearly a deluxe resort, and the cabins are very clearly not, just wouldn't make sense to me.
And also the fact that the cabins are already a pre-established entity in like if the cabins hadn't already come online, I would say, that's, it's possible the two could get combined together, but the cabins are already there and being sold. This isn't going to be like the Poly Tower where it's like, well, we're going to add this on to an existing one. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, because this is, like you said, this isn't entirely a new deluxe resort. It doesn't, I can't see them merging those two together.
I agree. I know some people are talking about that Palmetto Trust thing, the Palmetto Trust Association thing.
Yeah.
And that this may be part of that, which maybe. I don't really know, though. Like, it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. We're not going to have an answer for this for 3 years. So we'll hold off and wait for that. But yeah.
A lot can change in 3 years, right? We don't.
That's true.
They could come along and tell us that all new stuff is going to be under the trust in that time.
Yeah,
so we don't know.
Well, and listen, I am glad that they're moving forward with this because I think I said before, if they do this, that I will most likely end up buying here at some point because we love that area. We love Wilderness Lodge. This looks like an even nicer Wilderness Lodge, which is. Not to say that Wilderness Lodge is not nice, because it is. This is more of like a modern kind of take on Wilderness Lodge, and assuming they go with the same concept art that we have previously. So I just think it'll be a great addition to that area, and I think it's well needed. And but yeah,
also it'll be a longer contract too than Wilderness Lodge, so there's that.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't know. We don't really know what's going to happen at this point, but it's funny that we've been talking about this forever, and we claimed that it was going to happen, and sure enough, it happens the week that we take off.
That's exactly how.
How it should happen. Yeah, exactly how it should happen. Of course, but listen, it's good. Like I said, and they did obviously take the feedback on the Reflections name and decided to change it to Lakeshore Lodge, Lakeside Lodge. Wait, what is it?
Is it
Lakeshore? Yeah, sorry.
This is going to be like going to the haunted house versus the haunted mansion,
or going to MGM Studios as opposed to Hollywood Studios. Yeah. I feel like I'm always going to call it Reflections for forever, just because
people are going to ask you where you're staying. You're going to be like at Reflections, and they're going to go, "Oh, what? Is that an offsite?" Like,
I'm going to tell them I'm staying at Haunted River Country, and then they'll really be confused.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we should be doing that.
There's actually, if you Google Reflections, I think we did this one time on here, but there's about 16 Google reviews for Reflections, even though it doesn't exist, and they're all really snarky and funny. Saying like non-existent service, there were no walls. It's pretty funny considering. Had to sleep on the dirt and cover myself with moss and leaves to stay warm. The food was pretty good. You have to scavenge for the food as the resort hasn't been built yet.
Oh man,
amazing people natural outdoorsy vibe. Yeah. Oh man, this one's good too. It was a little decent, felt a little run down. The pools were really gross and green. One was even filled with dirt. The water slides seemed covered in woodland. I want to know who decided to look this up and then do an actual review of Reflections that doesn't exist.
That's you have to be a specific type of board to do that.
Well, it's funny that it's even on Google Maps, considering it never even existed, right? Like,
yeah, but Google Maps doesn't curate that stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You can write pretty much whatever you want until somebody comes and objects to it.
Until somebody says no. So yeah, listen, a lot more on this to come in the future. It's it's going to be way off, but the good news is there's things that are being built right now. Like, there's actual structure already. So like, this is happening, which is kind of great. Mm-hmm. I'll be interested to when is Disney going to finally acknowledge it? It's interesting that sometimes they announce things way far ahead of time before they've moved any dirt, and then there's other times they just start moving dirt, and then like later be like, hey, by the way, we're building this thing over here. I don't know. It's just weird to me that that's how they do things sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have much else to add on it. I think, but we got some time to process this and see what it actually is. But in the meantime, I guess let's talk about something that I'm never going to get to enjoy.
Someday, Trevor. Hold out hope, man. Hold out hope. All right.
Okay.
So Membership Magic Beyond, which, by the way, I got a thing in the mail with some stickers advertising this because they just sent out a thing with a bunch of stickers. My daughter was very excited. Although I think they're car stickers. But anyway, so Membership Magic Beyond is now started, and hopefully it will be available in Canada at some point. But it's $99 a year. We've talked about this before. There were some unknowns about this that we now know. One of those is how many points it will cost to get an annual pass, because that's one of the benefits of this, is that you'll be able to purchase the Sorcerer annual pass using points. And we have an answer to that now, and the answer is 75 points for a new pass purchase and 65 points for renewal. This is actually a lot less than I thought it was going to be.
That's not bad. I mean,
yeah.
Well, actually, no.
If you do the math on it, it's probably not great.
Doing the math on a hotel room versus an annual pass, this is actually eclipsing because this would be like a couple of days or like 4 or 5 days potentially in a room, which would cost you thousands of dollars.
And an annual pass is like $1,000.
Yeah. So I guess 75 points is a lot. But
it's still somehow less than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. I guess my thinking was that, I guess depending on the amount of points that you have, and especially if you didn't have, if you had points that you weren't going to spend and you didn't want to figure out banking them, like this isn't a bad option to, you get an annual pass and you just use it and it doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's similar to me to using your points for the cruise, right? It might not be a big deal. I mean, it might not be a good deal for you to do it, but it's convenient for some, right?
Yes, it's entirely situational.
Yeah. So we also now know, too, the discounts that are going to be available to these subscription holders on tickets. So they had advertised that a 5-day base ticket at Disney World was going to have a discount. There's a discount of 10% for that, which is not great, but also not terrible either. I mean, it's
I
something.
get a better discount as a Canadian resident.
Well, see, you got something that you have up on.
So maybe this is starting to answer maybe why we're not eligible for it. That they do actually, because of the exchange rate, we do occasionally get 25% discounts on our tickets. So,
okay, well, yeah, that's helpful. And then also Disneyland tickets though are discounted up to 35%, which is actually
okay. Now they're
talking. Now
they're playing dirty.
Yeah. So okay. and also they're valid for 3 days of weekday admission and include Lightning Lane multipass. Rates start at $330 for a 3-day pass with admission to one park per day, $420 for park hopping. So
see, I would do this just for the Disneyland tickets.
Yeah, that feels like a pretty good deal, actually.
Yeah. I wish I could do this because that would be great because we're planning to go to Disneyland next fall and this would save me some money for sure. But no, guess not.
Yeah, sorry. I even just pulled up the FAQs just did it.
Yeah, it still says I looked too.
It's only yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, I'm going to continue to complain about it because
you should.
Yeah, I'm standing here going like, hey, I want to give you guys money, and they're like, no.
They're like, no, we're good. we got enough. We don't want your Canadian dollars.
Yeah, our monopoly money.
So it also mentions here, though, that the Magic Beyond participants can purchase up to 8 discounted tickets per year, but they can only be used by the member and other individuals living in the same household. That's interesting. Fair. Yeah, that is fair.
That is totally fair because you could, people could definitely exploit that.
Oh yeah,
by buying their friends cheap tickets and stuff, right?
It becomes a
gray market.
It does, but can't I just be like, oh, my in-laws live with me? Wink, wink.
I mean, you would have to set up accounts for them and basically create an identity for them that proves that they live with you, because it's not just a matter of saying they live with me. Like they need you to attach it to a person that has ID and all that. And if the ID doesn't line up with the account, then they'll just say no.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sorry, I know. Working in IT, I get to see all the behind the scenes stuff, and they, they are tracking all this stuff. Unfortunately,
I also do want to mention, by the way, that 5-day ticket one for Disney World also includes a free 1-day admission to a water park. So, which I think is different than the check-in day one, because it just says a free 1-day admission to the water park. So, I guess technically you're getting a 6-day ticket, or is it one of the 5 days?
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know.
Well, usually the water park admissions are in addition to your park days. Like it's like you buy like a 5-day ticket, and then whenever I've done the they used to call it the water parks and more ticket, was you had all your park tickets paid for, but then you had the one admission on top of that at one of the water parks.
I did find the answer. So the tickets require the member to choose a start date and expire 8 days from the start date. The 1-day admission to one of the water parks can be used any day during the 8-day period. So it's not one of the 5 days. So technically you're getting 6 days of tickets if you include the water park. So
all right, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I will also mention here too that one of the other things in the terms and conditions for this, it states that you have to a DVC resort stay is required in order to use the benefit for the Epcot lounge, and also for the character meet opportunities. So you can't
interesting,
which is odd to me. It feels unnecessary, but okay.
Well, it's not though. Because
you don't think so? Okay.
I think that there's a lot of people that would, either people who are staying off site regularly or people who live close enough that I think they don't want it being that somebody's paying for it that is local and just is, hey, I'm getting 365-day VIP access to the lounge, right?
It's fair. That's a good point.
I can see why they're doing that, because it's, not taking away, I understand, people who are local have, it's a different way that they do Disney, but I think they're protecting this because they don't want it to become something that's overrun by people that just have it, all the time. Right. And also something else that I'm noticing in the FAQ page here, which, people should be really aware of, is that the Membership Magic Beyond, the season for it is not based on when you bought it. It actually expires on December 31st, 2025.
So it's not like an annual pass when it expires a year later. It just expires at the end of the calendar year.
Yes. So take that into factor with if you're planning something and you're thinking like, oh, hey, I can buy this later in the year and use it into 2026. No, you cannot. So, you have to really, I think that's also going to affect people buying this, is you have to really look at, are you planning to, use it enough through the year? Like, I think if they turn around and say that, Canadian people are eligible for this, like next September, I'm not buying it because I'm not going to use it in 3 months. Right. So,
I mean, I guess it depends. See, I still think I would buy it even if I was going for like a week in September, just because of the benefit with the Memory Maker, where it's just basically like you're paying for that and you get Memory Maker and then you get some other incidental benefits. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I would still buy just for that.
That's fair. Like, I feel though that you would really need to like evaluate. Like, I guess Memory Maker is kind of an obvious win. Yeah. But I feel like, the overall package of this, like it loses its luster the further you get into the year, is my opinion on it. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm just saying my personal thing on it is that it's worth it just for the Memory Maker, and then anything else I get outside of that, then great, but if it's just like extra to me at that point.
I'll just stand at the window staring in, wishing that, I could get free Memory Maker in the meantime.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry. I feel so bad.
It's raining, too. It'll be raining. And
it'll be raining.
Standing outside going, oh.
Yeah, you're going to get splashed by a car as it goes by.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like, that's going to be the whole thing. And I'm just going to be happy inside, nice and warm, enjoying my Memory Maker and my lounge access.
Yeah. Disney, I want to give you money. Come on.
Let me give you more money. Now, maybe someday. hopefully for your sake.
Yeah. I'll just keep letting them know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's lots of people that are letting them know, and they'll eventually do it. I feel like this is a new thing, and I feel like it's going to be they're going to feel this out for the first year, and they don't want to open it up to a larger audience because, if it's new, they don't need to be dealing with all the chaos of everybody having access to it. So I get it
for sure.
But
I wonder if it could sell out. They never said that it couldn't sell out, but they also, I don't know.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I guess like annual passes and stuff, it probably does have a limit on how, because I feel like if too many people are buying this, Disney may pull back on it because they also don't want to devalue it by having everybody have the same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically, every person that buys it devalues it slightly, right? Because it's the same thing with like Lightning Lane with that stuff. Like the more people that buy it, the more it's devalued.
Because everyone's lining up for the same thing. So
exactly.
So it's not I'm getting the VIP experience. It's get in line with everybody else, right?
Exactly. Yeah. All right, Trevor. Should I play the song? I feel like
I wondered why you put this early, but
because it's DVC news,
Okay, fair. I mean, yeah. I mean, go ahead.
What time is it? Food time. What time is it? Food time. Damon's not here, so our mission is clear. It's food time. Food time. Team food is ready unless it has dairy because it's food time. Food time. With Tom and Trevor, this will take forever because it's food time. Food time. Food and wine. We have the time because it's food time. Food time.
I missed that song.
It's been a minute.
It has. It's been a couple episodes. Like I've been trying really hard not to overplay it because I don't want to annoy people, but
hey, I mean, but okay, you made it. You're proud of it. It's fine.
I just like it too.
Yeah.
I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
But also, listen. The reason I made it was for a practical purpose to warn people that don't want to hear about food that we're about to talk about food. So,
but this time is not the end of the episode. So I guess you'll have to figure out how to skip past this if you don't want to hear about the food. But I think people are going to want to hear about this food in particular. I know I do.
I did too, and that's why I put it up front because this is technically DVC news, right? This is the new restaurant that's opening at the Polynesian Tower, right? At the Island Tower at the Polynesian. And this is, how do you say this? Wailulu?
Yeah, let's go with Wailulu Bar and Grill.
Okay, Wailulu Bar and Grill. And I would think people, especially DVC members, want to hear about this because this is the newest DVC restaurant, right? I mean, it's not that only DVC members can go; anybody can go, but
But it's new on a new DVC property. Now, I was confused about if this was going to be is a quick service or a sit down, and I'm still confused.
I'm still confused too. It says brand new casual walk up pool bar. That feels like a.
But that's okay. That's one part of it, though.
Yeah, it feels still like a quick service. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like quick service food, though.
Well, because they also talk about that there's going to be fireworks views for dining in this, which that says to me that it's like a sit down, because otherwise you're going to have everybody crowding a quick service to watch fireworks.
I mean, could it be like what was it? Be Our Guest in its initial incarnation was quick service during the day and sit down at night?
Oh, could be. Yeah.
So maybe combo like that. I don't know. Yeah. There's some interesting stuff here, though. So
there's some good looking stuff here. I like this menu.
This is your kind of food, I feel like.
Totally.
Yeah. Let's see. So there's a sweet potato hummus. There's ahi tuna crisps.
Yes.
What are the ahi tuna crisps? Where are they? Is that just like it's tuna nachos, basically?
No, it's the maybe I'm looking at the wrong. No, it's the one. It looks kind of like a sushi roll.
No, I think it's the one in the middle that has that looks like nachos, but it's got like the pink stuff on top of it. No?
Is that maybe, yeah, sorry, you're right. Yeah, that is it. Yeah.
Yeah, it basically looks like, tuna nachos, which, I guess is good. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing. I am not, but
Sorry, the one I was looking at is the spiced ham
yes.
masubi, which
Yes.
is it looks kind of like a sushi roll, but it's got like crispy rice and it's ham,
It's
which
spam.
is
it's
it's spam, which I mean, I think that'll be really good. Like
Well,
I don't know how
is-
you feel about like spam type meals, but
yeah, I mean, I
It's
know that's
grilled-
a dish
grilled spam
in
is good.
Hawaii. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's a dish that they serve in Hawaii, right? So that doesn't surprise me that they're doing something like that. I mean, I like it. I like spam. It's fine. I don't know if I would have this. I'm not a huge like. I think there's some seaweed going on there, right? Yeah,
it's hard to tell.
a little bit. Yeah. There's also a grilled shrimp. So although it only looks like there's like 3 shrimp there, but
Yeah.
who knows? That just might be for the picture.
I mean, they could be big. Some bigger prawns can be
That's true.
big. Yeah.
That's true. They also have crispy chicken wings, which, adobo marinated, soy glaze. That sounds kind of like the chicken wings that they have at Ohana. The soy glaze and everything. Like, I guess, those wings are delicious. And then there's a Wayfinder burger, which is pretty much just a straight up burger. I mean, it's nothing too crazy about it, right?
I mean, the only question mark is actually, there's 2 question marks. There's volcano sauce, which I don't know what that is, but it's probably like a spicy mayo, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then it says it's served on a sweet bun, which I think that'll make it different.
Yes.
For sure.
Because it's like a Hawaiian, King's Hawaiian roll. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So Trevor, I'm turning over that this is not a quick service because there's too many items on the menu for it to be a quick service.
That's true. Yeah. Usually quick services stop at like what we just listed, but there is a whole other section of stuff here.
Yeah. So like there's a whole bunch of other stuff. It almost reminds me, there's I'm forgetting the name of it off the top of my head. There's like a kind of quick service sit down eat combo kind of place over at Wilderness Lodge. It's like outdoors. Gosh, it's killing me. I can't remember it. But this almost feels like kind of similar to that, where it's like a bigger menu that's kind of quick service, but it's not like you need a reservation and need to like dress up and there's like waiters and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
But there's a beef short rib loco moco. Okay. Yep. I was in until I saw the mushroom gravy, but outside of that, I would eat that.
It's mushroom gravy's good. I know you don't. It's good. Come on, trust me. It's fine.
You're telling my wife, or what I say to my daughter.
The next one, actually, I know you don't like fish, but there's a grilled fish of the day, which comes in a green curry broth with jasmine rice, chickpeas, and sweet potato. Which I know you don't like fish, but green curry is really good. I really like that. There's a poke bowl, which again is more fish, but
my wife loves poke bowls.
Yeah, poke bowls are fantastic.
Yeah,
and all the usual stuff you find in it. And you get to actually choose. Oh, hey, this is perfect for you. Is that you can choose between ahi tuna, teriyaki chicken, or tofu.
Oh,
so you can actually get a chicken poke bowl.
Well, look at that. That's exciting.
Perfect.
And then
love it.
There's a chow mein salad. And then there's also sticky pork ribs, which look delicious to me. That's probably the route I would go right there. Is that nice little, nicely stacked pyramid of ribs that they got going on there. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I'm in for that.
Yeah. I mean, all around this is looking like a good menu, and I got to make a reservation now.
Wait, for the restaurant or for the tower?
Well, no, for the restaurant.
Okay.
So I already have a reservation at Morea. So we're staying at where I usually stay, which is fine because I was able to book that 11 months out, and I wasn't going to wait for the tower to come available because that was a big question mark. But I'm still going to make a reservation at this restaurant, and we're going to walk over there and have dinner. And I'm telling my brother that because we're just doing it. That's that's what we're doing now.
So I should mention too that they're going to have breakfast here, but like limited. It says on the go morning pastries for breakfast.
Which, I mean, that kind of sounds like any quick service. You get like the basic, croissant type stuff, I guess.
They have a pineapple coconut bread for breakfast.
Ooh, actually, hey, that looks good.
Yeah, that does look actually pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know if I would pass up on Tonga toast for that.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
Tonga toast is, I mean, this has got it's got a hill to climb to compare with Tonga toast. But I guess we'll wait and see what people say about it.
They also have a couple desserts here too. They have a Dole Whip sundae with the hibiscus meringue and passion fruit crispies. That's, they just basically took a pile of Dole Whip and they prettied it up a little bit, which is fine. Yep. This other one though, the chocolate cake with salted caramel ganache chantilly cream infused with the essence of Kona coffee. I don't drink coffee, but that looks delicious. I would probably have that.
That might be an after lunch dessert.
Yeah. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with that.
It'll wake you up and keep you going for the afternoon.
Yeah, you're right. Probably, depending on how much coffee's in it, I guess.
Yeah.
So wait, can you make reservations for this one, or is it not? It says casual dining, but is it reservation?
I mean, I assume if it's a sit down, because all sit down restaurants have, or you can make reservations at them, right?
Maybe.
If it's a sit down, you have to make a reservation, right? Or I mean, I guess, sorry, you don't have to. I know there's walk up, but like they are in the system for reservations. I've yet to see, or unless somebody can prove me wrong, I've yet to see a sit down restaurant where it's exclusively walk up.
That's fair. Yeah. The funniest thing about this, Trevor, if you click on the name of it and you go to the page for the restaurant, it has the location on the map, but the location is just in a field. They haven't updated the map yet. So
nice.
Yeah, seriously, go on the bottom of the page. If you click on the Wailulu Bar and Grill and you go to that page and you scroll down a little bit, the location is just a dead spot on the map. That's good.
Where are they pulling this map from?
That's the question. Yeah, probably from the main map, and maybe they just haven't updated the main map yet with the new building. Which actually they have not. Yeah, the main map on Disney.com does not have the building yet. It just has beach and grass. So that's funny. They need to update that. Get their artists on that.
I mean, it's
it opens in like a week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess, they're not leaning on Google Maps for that. You're right. It is an internal thing. So yeah, I guess they need to get on it. And actually, looking on the page, it has today listed and it says no times available.
I did see that. Yeah.
So casual dining. Yeah. So casual dining is not quick service. This is it's going to have reservations.
Okay. Yeah.
Cause
it's a weird spot. Yeah.
Cause when I click on casual dining on the website, it brings up like 50s Primetime Cafe and, Be Our Guest and Beaches and Cream. So, these are all, these are all places you can make reservations at.
True. Yeah. So, okay. So it does seem like you'll have a waiter at this place, not just like okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be a sit down, which I'm perfectly fine with. I mean, I guess I hope that it sounds like there's going to be like the walk up bar side of things.
Yes.
My only thing with, if this is only a sit down, it does have an impact on Captain Cook's in the main ceremonial house.
What do you mean?
Because Captain Cook's is the only quick service.
Oh, yeah.
In the Polynesian. So you're going to have people that are going to be like, not everyone's going to go to the sit down. So that means that Captain Cook's is going to be even busier than it is now because you're going to have more people there, which
I can see that.
But also, I guess the other thing too, it might actually, I guess we'll have to see how this plays out. This may actually affect people both at the Grand Floridian and the Polynesian because that tower is close enough that technically, if I was staying at that tower, I would actually be trying. I'll have to go explore this when we're there. Like seriously, I get very curious about the stuff that, okay, you all are getting, and like inside my head here for a minute is that I love like mapping stuff out. And I love like, once I know where everything is and I can figure it out how it relates to one another, I will figure out like the most optimal way to do things. So
I'm with you. Yeah.
So my thinking right now is where the tower is, it's actually pretty far to get over to the main ceremonial house. I believe it's actually further than getting from like the current longhouses for DVC. So So it may not actually be in people's best interest to walk from the tower all the way over to the ceremonial house. But depending on how close the quick service is at the Grand Floridian, you may actually have people walking from the Poly Tower over to the Grand Floridian for quick service. Or there may be a split of people. Or like I said,
it's pretty far though. So
is it really far? Because
Grand Floridian, yeah, because it's on the other side of the wedding pavilion, and then it's where the quick service is towards like not towards the back of the resort, but as far as the far side of the resort compared to where the Island Tower is.
Okay, so I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see how it shakes out.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the thing is that it's great that they've got this sit down there, but you're going to have an entire tower of people, and not all of them are going to want to be doing sit downs, which means that it's going to. I hope Disney's considered this, that, their quick services are busy enough in those resorts. Specifically, like the last time I was at the Polynesian, I did an online order at Captain Cook's, and it took me 45 minutes to get it because they were just so overwhelmed. So if they're not thinking about that, they really should be.
to be fair, it's a similar situation to Animal Kingdom Lodge, right? So Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani, does not have a quick service option, right?
Right.
You can get some breakfast at Sanaa, but the main quick service is over at the main building. And so you have to either take the little bus over there or walk over there to get breakfast if you want it. So, I mean, it's not, I guess, all that different in that case. Is like if you're staying at the Island Tower and you don't want to grab some pastries to go, you're just going to have to walk over to the main building. But like you said, it's probably going to get busier. Yeah.
I'm not just thinking about like breakfast, because for me, like I usually like order food and have it in my room for breakfast. So I don't even deal with breakfast crowd stuff. But I'm thinking about like throughout the day, like I will go to the quick services sometimes at lunch and dinner time. And my concern is that, they've added a whole other tower to this area, but there's not or the only additional food option is a sit down.
Yeah.
So I'm throwing all this out there because, as much as we all love the new stuff, and like I said, I definitely want to go to this restaurant, but I'm kind of thinking about how this is going to impact like just general experience at these resorts too. Right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Why don't we do our ad and then we'll talk about some other stuff, huh?
All right.
All right. The sponsor of this episode is DVC Rental Store. The DVC Rental Store, a World of DVC company, offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. And as always, DVC Rental Store pays out the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome home or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 1-855-382-7368. And we speak to them. Be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. All right. Some other stuff we got to talk about here that's not DVC related. I can't believe we talked about DVC for so long. So Disney also revealed a whole bunch of dates for stuff and also updates for things, right? So one of those is the Villain show that we talked about, which I'm seeing a lot of people, by the way, saying that they should just cancel the show and move Muppet Vision 3D over to that theater. Which, I mean, could happen, I guess, eventually, right? Like this show could last for a year or two, and then they could, rebuild Muppet Vision over there. It's right next to the new coaster, right? So,
yeah, but I mean, I
know.
Just no, like that.
Just no.
Don't shoehorn stuff in. Yeah. Where it doesn't make sense. Like I know people are scrambling to find a place for Muppet Vision 3D, but it's not going to work out the way you think it will. Like that's all I'll say is that they won't just one for one take Muppet Vision and put it over there, even if you ask them to. It would not be what you want. And in my opinion, just the fact that we're getting Rock and Roller Coaster, I think people will,
be happy with that.
I think it'll be better. Like, yeah.
So we know more details about this villain show. It's called Unfairly Ever After, which I'm going to guess means that, it's a show about the villains being like, treated badly or misunderstood or something, right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe it'll be, I don't know if you've watched. I assume you've probably watched Descendants at this point. Like,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
how all the villains got like banished to an island kind of thing. It kind of feels like that vibe.
And so that's coming summer. Then we also finally have an update on the Little Mermaid, the new musical that they're doing. That's been closed since COVID, and now they're bringing it back. That one is also going to be, I think it says summer.
Yeah,
right?
they're not giving dates. They're just saying like approximate.
Yeah, there are some dates later on this that we have. So also, I totally forgot about this Spaceship Earth Lounge.
Yeah, me too, until I saw the announcement about it.
Yeah, and then I saw the picture and I was like, oh, I remember that. I think it got like pushed down with all of the other crazy announcements we had. But this is coming in late spring now. My question about this one, it doesn't look like a gigantic space, right? Is this going to be a pain in the butt to get into? This is going to be one of those things that's different. I mean, obviously they're going to do a nightly firework thing there, right? Like there's going to be a paid event in there for fireworks just because of the view you get. I'm guessing, but
I would expect so. I expect there's a dessert party type thing that they're going to do.
Yeah, that's what I would guess too. And it looks like they are going to have some food. So it's not just like a bar. They're calling it a lounge, right? So it's late spring. There's going to be food. There's going to be drinks. It's going to be a nice view. I'm not gonna lie, I've always wanted to go up there because I've always known there was a lounge up there, but it was for the sponsor previously, and now they're just making it a space that anyone can go to. Always wanted to check it out, and I will definitely make my way up here at some point.
Yeah, this is on my list now.
Yeah, especially with it opening in spring, this is gonna.
I'll be there in May, which I mean is still spring. So
yeah,
I mean there is a chance that I will get to get in here. Yeah.
So we also have an opening time, season for the Test Track 3.0, which is going to be late summer 2025.
Yeah.
I knew you're going to miss that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I really was hoping that this was going to be open earlier.
Yeah,
but fine.
Yeah. They also hint here that you're going to start seeing cars returning to the track with their new look in the next couple months here. So
for testing, of course.
Yeah. But we'll start getting images. I mean, you see in this concept art what the ride vehicle is going to look like, assuming it's going to stay the same as the concept art, which it doesn't always. But it'll be interesting to see what that looks like when that starts happening. And then we have I didn't forget about this, but it's now back in my mind again. New nighttime parade at Magic Kingdom, Disney Starlight, Dream the Night Away, which I have to say the concept art, if it looks anything like the concept art, this is going to be an amazing parade.
I mean, if you know what Paint the Night is, this is going to be like Paint the Night, which means it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I feel that Disney is not so out of tune with their nighttime parades that they would ever do like anything particularly horrible with it. Sure, they understand that these nighttime parades need to be a spectacle, and this is definitely lining up to be a spectacle.
100%. And this is summer 2025. They didn't say late. They didn't say early. They just said summer. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go with July on that one. Just a guess.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense that they would line up some of these things for like the summer.
Yeah.
And
just so those that don't know, it's going to have Peter Pan, Encanto, Frozen, Moana, and it says and more. And of course, it's going to be lit up like we're talking about. And then the Blue Fairy from Pinocchio will weave a transformative magic of starlight through each float and every costume. So it just lit up. Okay. I thought maybe it was something different. And then we have Pirates of the Caribbean, the Tavern, that was announced a while ago. This one is not until late 2025. So we still got a full year for this one, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting because it's just a tavern. What's
taking so long?
Is it just a low priority, I guess? I don't know.
Maybe.
They're doing a lot of stuff right now, right? So
I feel like this concept art changed.
It did. I agree.
Because I remember the previous one felt a lot more like
debaucherous.
Yeah, very, very like Tortuga-esque. And
you know what, though? This is a different angle, though, because the other angle was of the bar. This is not a picture of the bar. This is of the sitting area.
You know what this is giving me the vibe of is Blue Bayou in Disneyland.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. It's not a bad thing, right?
Because Blue Bayou is very like it's very like candlelight dark, like because it's facing into the ride or into the beginning of the ride. It has a very like fine dining ambiance, I guess would be the best way to put it. So I wonder if maybe that's why this is taking longer, is that they maybe got feedback on the initial like, hey, this looks like it's going to be like a rowdy bar kind of thing, and maybe people went, I don't know, I want that.
I mean, I kind of want that though, but
yeah, but I also get like it's hard because it puts it into a fine line of if it's all entertaining to loud, rowdy people, that actually does cut off a lot of people.
It does.
That, are there on vacation and, feel like, they have to avoid like for me, if it was like, if they said it was a full on bar, I want nothing to do with it. Like I don't go to bars. I just don't. I don't like that kind of atmosphere. But this is like, oh, this looks like a nice, like, it's Pirates themed and all that, but it's not like over the top aggressive, which like, but I get what you're saying is like, hey, that seems like, in the, like if you're in the mood or in the moment, it seems like it would be a lot of fun, but I don't know how sustainable that is in the middle of a theme park.
Well, they do say in here that it will welcome pirates of all ages, and I actually didn't realize they're actually going to have food here too. So it says grog and grub. Now that could be just a couple like little appetizer-y things, but I just assumed they weren't going to have food. They also said there may be a few mysterious and magical surprises in store. So interested to see what that's going to be like. Yeah, that's like the part. Yeah,
that's the part that intrigues me, is that you can do a rowdy bar like whatever kind of thing, but it's when you're like sitting there and stuff starts happening, like Trader Sam's type stuff, or
I'm thinking Trader Sam's with pirates.
Yeah, exactly, right. Yeah, but like Pirates version of Trader Sam's kind of stuff, right? Like I'm looking at the little ships in the bottle above that mantle.
Yes.
It feels like something's going to happen with those.
Oh yeah. Or the portraits that are on the wall. Like there's a lot of stuff that can happen here. Yeah,
exactly.
I want a pirate waiter though. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, so
moving on. We're at
much to my wife's happiness. Zootopia better Zoogether. I almost said
better Zoogether. Yeah,
better Zoogether. It actually works if you say it right. Yeah. So this is the new show that's going to be replacing the I want to say much maligned It's a Bug. It's Tough to Be a Bug, because I mean, I don't think I've ever done that show without seeing multiple children come out crying, and my wife being on the verge of tears because she doesn't like it either. So
who doesn't love being assaulted by spiders coming down from the roof?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I think this is new concept art. I don't think I've seen this. I think the name was not out there before, so I think this is new information. Mm-hmm. But this is going to open winter 2025 at Animal Kingdom. It looks like they're going to make this a lot more family friendly and a lot more fun. Just even looking at the concept art, it looks really interesting. There's some drones going on here for some reason. I think that's what those are, drones on the top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did not. I scrolled right past those. I didn't even notice those because I was looking at I was looking at all the character silhouettes and everything, which very much reminds me of the end of the movie when they're at the concert with Gazelle.
That kind of seems like what it's going to be, right?
Yeah, and looking at the way that Nick and Judy are dressed and everything, it's feeling like it's going to be very much a party atmosphere and not
scary.
Not traumatic.
Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Also, I did notice on this poster too that it's presented in Carrot Vision 3D because why not?
Well, carrots are good for your eyes. You know that, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just want to know who's.
I'm sure that's going to be the joke.
Who's going to be the character? Like, are they going to get rid of the animatronic that comes out from the ceiling? Like, or are they just going to replace that with somebody else? And who they're going to replace? I don't know. I feel like they're going to redo that whole theater. That's going to be
guaranteed. It's they're. I can't imagine them repurposing the existing show because it is very dated and it's a good opportunity for them to just rip it out and replace, right?
The other thing is we found out now that Dinosaur will be still open for the entire year of 2025. So,
Oh no.
oh no. But yeah. So listen, if you are really,
that's the saddest news on here, man.
That's sad for you because you wanted to be closed sooner than that.
It is, and especially okay. We're gonna sidebar for a second here.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
So there's a game that is it's just coming out, like I think on like tomorrow or the day this comes out actually. So like Monday. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Oh yeah.
is coming out, which looks really good. And,
it does look really good.
And I've been watching like trailers and stuff, and I actually saw that they actually did. Somebody pointed out that there was one part that they did a reference to Indiana Jones in Disneyland, because there's actually there's a picture of the Eye of Mara that he looks at one point. So
okay, cool.
So that immediately got me like, oh right, I just like remembered like Indy and like how all of that is, and now hearing that Dinosaur is going to be there for another year, it's like, but I want Indy.
They do have to prioritize things, Trevor. There's a lot going on.
Don't wait another year. Give me like, come on, guys.
Unfortunately, that's how it's got to be, right? So
that's fine. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to be at Animal Kingdom on my next trip anyway, so
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's whatever.
So after hours returns next year, which I know you're talking about taking advantage of.
We are doing an after hours party, guaranteed.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna do. I was wrestling with doing Epcot versus Magic Kingdom, and I did settle on Magic Kingdom.
Oh wow! Okay, nice.
Because something people don't think about with Epcot is that like it's good that they have the after hours, but the pavilions aren't open during the after hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Just throwing that out there for anybody who's looking at after hours parties.
That makes sense. So they also do mention here too that throughout 2025 there are more than 200 days of themed, seasonal, and limited time magic happening. Yes. So between the usual festivals like the Festival of the Arts, farts, and international obviously food and wine, and then the Christmas parties, the Halloween parties, all that stuff. Yeah. Flower and Garden. Yeah. That was the other one I was looking for. But yeah, so there's a lot of good stuff coming in 2025 while we wait for other things to be finished. But listen, we're going to get a new test track. That's great. We're going to get new parades. We're going to get some new shows. Lots of good stuff happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what do we got next here? We don't need to do this one. Let's skip that. I mean, we can if you want.
Holiday
merch. Holiday merch.
We already talked about holiday merch. I don't know that we like. What else is there to talk about?
I don't know. It's a valid question.
And I guess okay. I will throw this out there that
oh boy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Come at me, people. Holiday merch is the least interesting thing at Disney because it is so situational, and it's so like you buy a Christmas anything. You're only using it at Christmas time. Like I'm not buying shirts or hats or anything Christmas. It's I feel like the Christmas merch is the worst
thing. Of the merch.
The worst thing to happen, and like I said, it's the thing that I pay the least amount of attention to, because and to be fair, in this article they are advertising other things like like toys and stuff for kids.
The Haunted Mansion light up chess set sounds pretty awesome. If I played chess, I'd be all over that.
Well, and again, that you also kind of have to think about am I going to buy a chess set that's going to sit there and not be used, right?
It is cool though. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's cool.
Fair, yeah, I agree, but I guess like I said, whenever I see anything about like holiday time stuff, I kind of I pay less attention to it because it feels like Disney is like I don't want.
I get it.
I don't want Disney holiday stuff. I want Disney stuff.
I get that. That makes sense. Yeah, that's fair. All right. You want to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I put this on here just because I thought it was interesting.
it doesn't mean anything.
It means nothing, but it's interesting.
It is. And I guess it's so the headline is Disney legend Josh Gad publicly presses Imagineers for new Figment ride at Epcot, which if Josh was really going to do this, he wouldn't be publicly hitting them up. He would be going and having conversations with people he can have conversations with.
Well, but to be fair, he posted on his Instagram, "Hey, Walt Disney Imagineering, call me. We need to give this guy the ride update he deserves." So he's literally saying, "Call me. I want to help." Like, I want to do this with you, which, okay, sure. But
as if he doesn't have contacts though. Like,
true. I mean, I'm sure he does. But, the thing about it is the only reason I put this on here, right, is like, it's so frustrating, I think, for a lot of us with the Figment thing, because it's like, and this article mentions it, right? Like, Disney's still like promoting Figment in so many ways, between the meet and greet and like, that super popular popcorn bucket and just the merch and everything. And it's like, but why can't we have a good ride? Can you just do that? Yeah. I don't know, but I just thought this was kind of funny.
I guess it's good. Yeah. I feel, maybe Josh is, maybe he's said things and people have ignored him. And so he's using, obviously the fact that he does have a public platform as a means of, I feel like this is kind of the same way that like Ryan Reynolds got Deadpool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. He's politicking for it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fair. I mean, I'm not mad about it. I'm not, I'm glad that, he's aware of it and, having somebody like him acknowledge, like, us as fans are all saying, hey, this needs some love, but we really don't get listened to all that much because, even as a hardcore fan, they, we don't have the weight to say this needs some work. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I'm glad that Josh is taking the time to do that. Initially, when I thought about it, I was like, okay, he's obviously got something in mind for it. And I was thinking about like, okay, the current voice of Figment is the same guy who does Gonzo.
Correct.
for Muppets. Do you think that if they did an update to this, that Josh would try and take a swing at doing Figment? I don't think he would do bad because
I actually think his voice would fit that. Yeah.
Looking at Olaf and everything, I feel he could do really good justice to the character, but I'm just, I don't know. Like,
why kick out Gonzo though?
Yeah, well, but I mean, also it's not just Gonzo, like the whole current way it's done with like Eric Idle.
Yeah.
It
literally doesn't remember doing this. It's that old now. He literally doesn't even remember.
And it was one little project that he did in the midst of how many other things Eric Idle has done. And
true.
The only thing that I hope that happens is that I'll admit the one thing I really like about the current Figment ride is how it ties together a universe of the different zany science movies that they used to have back in the 90s.
True.
Because there's the reference, that Robin Williams is in there, Flubber and, Rick Moranis from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and all that.
And the connection to that, Josh Gad, remember, they were going to do a new Honey, I Shrunk the Kids show where Josh Gad was going to be the lead of.
Oh, yeah.
Connections. Look at that. But which I think got canceled just because of schedules. Because I think it got delayed because of the writer's strike. And then I think Josh Gad just got too busy, I guess. But yeah, he was supposed to do a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids show on Disney Plus. And I think it was going to be that he was like, Rick Moranis' son or whatever, following in his footsteps. And then,
oh, okay.
If I remember correctly, I could be wrong. This is a couple years ago. This was announced. So,
yeah. Okay. I guess, maybe there is some ways that, maybe he has a plan for something bigger if that's the case. Cause like you said, I guess things like this, or like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, it got canceled at the time, but we also know, Disney is also very notorious for things will seem like they've died off. And then all of a sudden, like 3 years later, they'll resurrect it and like green light doing something. Right. So,
yeah, he actually last year, it was actually supposed to be a film. And he guess he answered last year. He said, truth is we were inches from starting it and then COVID started. and then inches from starting again, and then Josh Gad got too busy basically, and then inches from starting again, and the budget got cut. So, and then he said, if you want it, let your local at Disney know. So just tagging Disney in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess it was supposed to be called Shrunk. Is that okay? Because that's what there's like an actual like little like poster for it.
Oh, so somebody did some initial like
yeah. The reboot would
concept.
center around Gad, one of Zelensky's kid who followed in his father's footsteps as an inventor. So okay, yeah.
Which okay, I mean, I guess I could see him playing the younger son.
Only if Rick Moranis is in it though. Like,
or no, it was the son and the daughter that were, or he had a son and a daughter. I was thinking of the neighbor who had two boys.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I feel like
watched Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Me too. I Rick Moranis would need to be in it though for me. Like I don't know if he.
Well,
he
won't. I don't. I mean, I know
he unretired now. Yeah.
He's done. He's appeared in a few things. I don't know if he's completely out of retirement, and I don't like. Yeah.
I just would want him back for that.
I agree. I love Rick Moranis. Like he was so good, but I also understand why he stepped away from acting. Like
100%.
He had to take care of his family. So.
Well, and I mean, it's funny, Trevor, and I don't know if you feel this way, but like I distinctly remember much of Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. Like I still remember that show. Like I don't know why. Too. Yeah, it's just like some of it was stuck in my head for a long time. Like I just remember it still. I remember the poster for it. I remember certain effects that would happen, and like that's been gone a long time.
The mice running under your feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was there was so many things in that I just like I remember, and it's like weird that I remember. It's like I shouldn't, because it's so old at this point.
I mean, I only saw it once, and it stuck in my head like that.
Yeah.
That says something. And also that was the original tie-in for Eric Idle's character into Figment, because he was in Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Yeah. So there's lots of connections there. But, back to Figment, I remember seeing a rumor where they said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that it gets done. So it's going to get done. It just depends on when. I mean, and listen, they have a lot of projects going on right now. So it's going to be, it's going to take some time. I can only imagine what it's like over at Imagineering now with the amount of stuff that they're working on right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, but just work on my Figment ride, please.
Yeah, just do that. Yeah. just that. Forget everything else.
And I know you're busy with all these other things, but this is my thing.
Forget new cruise ships. Forget new resorts.
You should do my thing first.
Yeah, do my thing first. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think this is one that you're excited for. Probably totally. We're gonna go over to Disneyland. And
you should be excited for this too, because you are potentially going to be experiencing this too at some point, aren't you?
Well, I'm not going to Disneyland next year. That's not happening. But
okay, all right.
No, but sometime, yes.
All right. So yeah, what's happened is they finally revealed the upgrades to the area around the Haunted Mansion. The big part being that the queue has been entirely redone and looks fantastic. Like it
does.
Okay. Yeah. Like you don't understand how cramped that old queue was. Like it was almost like single file, just like all these tight switchbacks. There was nothing, like it was just like a big box on the side of the Haunted Mansion. And this looks so much better. Like the gardens, all the little, there's so many details in this. Like
it's very detailed. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what like statues, like the little, it looks like there's like these, I don't know what to call them. It's like a jug with like cherubs around the side of it.
Yeah.
And there's like little gargoyles. There's this glass orb looking thing. Yeah. The fountain, like, man, it looks so good.
They did a really nice job with this. It's funny because usually with stuff like this, it's just like, I wouldn't say nobody cares because this is a big deal, obviously, for Disneyland and it's the original Haunted Mansion and all that. Everything I've seen online has been extraordinarily positive for this. People seem to have really liked what they did here.
Yeah. And then also on the other side of it, so there's the queue, which is one thing, which and again, looking at the queue, it does give very similar vibes to the queue in Disney World. That like there's definitely going to be like there's going to be some stuff to it, right? Like it's going to have some movement and whatnot. But then coming out of the Haunted Mansion, that whole section where the exit, there's now going to be the Madame Leota's shop there called Somewhere Beyond.
Which is going to open soon. It's not open yet.
Yeah. So. But the exit to Haunted Mansion is actually one of the most jarring exits now that I think about it. Like, because you would just get off the ride, you would go up the path to get out, and then it was literally like you came around this little tight corner, and then you're just kind of dumped back out into the like next to the mansion, and it felt like you came out through like a service corridor.
Okay. Like you didn't belong there, like it was the wrong place.
It felt very weird, but yeah, they've kind of moved that or like they've expanded that out, and now that there's the shop there, it looks a lot nicer. Like it's and the shop looks awesome. Pretty crazy. Yeah,
it's way better than the Memento Mori one that they have at Disney Worlds, which is Memento super small.
Yeah, it's very cramped, and this looks like it's going to have a decent amount of space to it, and just looks so creepy, but like curious. Is that the right? I don't know.
Yeah. No, and then they showed off a couple pieces of apparel too, which are pretty cool. I know what you're saying.
I kind of like cool. that hoodie.
Yeah,
it's not even a hoodie. Cool. It's just like a jacket.
Yeah, it's a zip up jacket. Yeah, it's very cool. I do also want to mention too, because I know this is obviously a big deal as well, is that they put in a new elevator, an accessible elevator for folks in wheelchairs and scooters and stuff. So, which is great, because I've heard before that they had to go like a different way, right?
Yeah, because there was technically actually. I'll have to confirm, or I've never had to use service or the handicap accessible stuff, but I'm pretty sure they actually used the stretching room as a means to get people in and out of the ride, because the way that because you can't really, or people can't really go up it's like in Space Mountain, you know how you had the ramp going or like the escalator, or it's not an escalator, but it's like a moving sidewalk, but it was inclined, so you couldn't have people going up that. So I think what they used to do was they would take people, like you would get off the ride and you would actually go back to the stretching room and then come up using the stretching room, because in Disneyland the stretching room is actually an elevator.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think they were doing that, and it sounds like they've got a separate elevator now for people exiting the ride that is, specifically for that purpose. And
it also says too that it extends the story of the attraction, and there's a gallery of original Imagineering artwork. That's pretty cool, actually.
Oh, so is that going to be Exitentio or who?
It could have been. I mean, it's a lot of people were involved in the Haunted Mansion. I mean, I know what's his name?
Sorry, who's the I'm blanking now. Who is the guy that has the bust on?
That's what I was trying to think of his name too. I don't know what. Raleigh Crump.
Yeah, I thought, I was like, no, it's not Raleigh Crump. No, okay.
No, it's Raleigh Crump. Yeah, and then there was another guy too whose name I can't think of, who was like, I think it was him and Raleigh Crump just used to like come up with like all sorts of random effects, and like, just used to do weird stuff, and that kind of morphed its way into the Haunted Mansion. But yeah, that'll be cool to see some of that art too.
Are you talking Yale Gracie?
That's the one, Yale Gracie. Yes, that's right. I don't know why I forgot of his name, because his name is in the ride.
Yeah, Master Gracie.
Master Gracie, yeah. I don't know why I just forgot for a second. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. I'm starting to lose my mind. So,
wow, are we? How did that happen?
I don't know. We just were talking and it happened.
Okay.
We should talk about the 70. We should wrap up with the 70th anniversary of Disneyland and what they're doing for the 70th anniversary. And we actually do have some hard dates in this one. There's some hard dates of things that are coming. So
yeah,
which is nice. So we got the all new World of Color show, which is World of Color Happiness. So that'll be pretty cool. It looks like there's going to be a lot of Inside Out stuff going on there, a lot of other Pixar things.
Goofy movies in there. Love that.
Yeah, that's you don't see Goofy movie does not get enough love, right?
Yeah, and I mean, World of Color actually really will lean itself towards Goofy movie. Like it'll work.
Also, Turning Red's in there too, which I don't feel like Turning Red gets enough attention because that was
needs a little bit more love for sure.
I love that movie. I thought it was great. It's a really good movie, and I feel like it doesn't get enough in the parks. I mean, it gets more. I feel like in Disneyland than Disney World, but yeah. So anyway, so it's going to, the same stuff that it always has: lasers, fog, flames, all that fun stuff. Paint the Night is coming back, as we know, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was the date on that? I thought there was a date.
I'm not seeing the dates on any of these.
There was a date though. Maybe it's just not in there, but I saw
grand return to Disneyland for the 70th celebration. I
swear that they announced the date, but
might be further down.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because I saw there were dates. I don't know. So I mean, I guess not in this article, but I saw in other articles there were dates. So yeah.
For whatever reason, Disney Parks blog is not. I mean, they probably don't want to post dates here in case something does change. I don't know.
May 16th.
Okay, there you go.
Yes, there you go. So I think both of those actually debut on May 16th. Does that say in the beginning of the thing, and then we just didn't see it? Oh yeah, beginning May 16th.
Okay. Oh yeah, you mean the bold part at the beginning?
The big bold part. Yeah, that's in large. It looks like it's in larger font. I mean, a larger font type, and it's
okay. That's not fair though, because they put that there, and then immediately below it is a picture of World of Color, which immediately grabbed my eye.
That's fair.
So I'm claiming that it was a bad design choice on their part. It's their fault. By putting the shiny stuff in front of me. Because I'm clearly distracted by the shiny stuff. Obviously,
yeah. So, but Paint the Night's coming back, so look for that in May. I know that's like your favorite. So, hopefully they've also, just I know there was a lot of issues with that parade back in the day with some of the performers and the outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah, the outfits were very
Hopefully they've upgraded now because batteries are smaller and less heavy. So I'm sure they can do better. Wondrous Journeys is coming back as well. That one is I actually really like that one. My daughter was obsessed with it for a while, and she watched videos of it over and over. Mm-hmm. So she really liked that one. So that one's coming back. And then also Better Together, Pixar Palace Celebration parade is going to be happening next year. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the daytime parade at California Adventure.
Yes. So I mean, there's some cool stuff. They also said additional entertainment and more magic to come. So there's going to be more announcements around, what festivities they're going to be doing for the 70th anniversary. They're also going to do all sorts of decorations all over the castle and everything too. Yeah. And then of course, Minnie and Mickey have a whole new outfit. So
I actually really like these outfits over the 60th. I'm just going to put that out there. The 60th outfits were very, they're very monotone. Like it felt like there was just like one color in the palette, and I didn't like it. It was like this purple color, or it was the 60th or the 65th. I can't remember actually.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but yeah, the 70th ones they've got actually a nice like selection of colors. Like it looks like somebody actually thought about this and didn't just like looking at like the general palette. There's actually a lot of different color going on, which there should be. I feel that they should be emphasizing things, and instead of just like here's everything in a metallic purple color, right?
yeah. We're gonna throw some silver in there. We're gonna throw some weird purple. This is good. I like it.
Yeah. And it's also giving me vibes of I'm actually remembering like looking at, or there's the one picture here with the shirt with Mickey and Minnie on it.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like early 90s Mickey.
Okay.
Like
I can see that.
Because I remember like some of them, like I got some stuff as a kid from like records and stuff from back then. And this is giving off the same like color scheme vibe kind of stuff. Like it feels like they're definitely doing, you know, some retro stuff, but it feels like 90s. I don't know. It's a weird, like it looks like 90s, but then Minnie's dress is like a 50s kind of thing, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And then that glittery conductor's hat is, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I like the idea of a conductor, like a Mickey conductor's hat. That's cool. The glitter is throwing me off.
It's a bit much.
Yeah.
It's a bit much.
But I mean, glitter in general, like, okay, people need to stop.
I hate glitter.
Yeah. People need to stop putting glitter on everything. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's just too much.
I hate glitter more than anything in the world.
And yes, you have a daughter too, so I know you get to deal with it in an unusual amount of.
I can't describe to you how much I hate glitter. It's like, it's well known. If I get like a card for like a holiday and there's glitter on it, I literally throw it from my hands like it's on fire. Like,
and
I'm
you
like,
wash your
glitter.
hands. Yeah.
Like, oh God, get that away from me. Like, that's no joke how I react.
Yeah, I feel you on that. My nieces, when they were younger, like everything was glitter, and I remember, like, you know, going over and visiting them, and it was like I would leave and I would have like glitter on my clothes, even though I didn't like touch anything of theirs. Like somehow, like just being in the vicinity got like glitter on everything. So yeah. We'll wrap up on this, but I did laundry yesterday, and I found a sticker stuck to the inside of my laundry drum, and I mentioned this to my wife, and my daughter goes, "Don't blame me for that." And I'm like, "Of course it was you." Like, who else would it be? Like, of course it was your fault. Like, it was my work stickers.
Yeah, like, where are the stickers coming from? Except for from you sticking them on me or on random things all the time. Like, come on now. She's just immediately, though, like so quickly. I'm just like, yeah, I found a sticker in the washing machine. She goes, "What? Don't blame me for that." Like, I didn't even say anything. So anyway,
that's so cute.
Yeah, it is. It's cute. Don't get me wrong. It was adorable, but it was funny. So anyway, let's wrap it.
Yeah, we've had a good chance to talk, and obviously it's been a couple of weeks, and we had to get through some things. So so this was good, and I guess we can wrap it up here. And I'll start by mentioning that, you know, if you have any questions about anything that you heard on the show, you know, if you want to tell us trip reports or you know, whatever, you know, if you just want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys. And similarly, you can also find us on social media. We are on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast, YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast, and Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. Make sure on Facebook that you check out our group called Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, where we have lots of conversations about stuff on the show. But there's also, you know, I've seen people in there this last week that, you know, they're posting questions about, you know, their own travel plans. You know, everyone's trying to figure out how to do Disney stuff. And I think our group is a great place for, you know, people of all experience levels of Disney to get together and, you know, just talk about it, because there's lots of people that are very well experienced in Disney. And then there's other people that are just, you know, just trying to plan a trip or just new to it and figuring it out. And I think it's great that we have a place where we can connect those people together. So make sure you check it out. Speaking
of that, Trevor, just really quickly, not to add to the time here. I think everybody knows I'm going on the Treasure in May, and I am 100% clueless on cruises, right? And I was planning it over the Thanksgiving because, you know, it was with all the family that we're going with. And I was like, man, I really got to get up on this. So I think we're going to do something with one of our DCL friends at some point, whether they come on our show or I go on their show. We're going to go through like a first time cruiser kind of thing. All the things you need to know, because I'm realizing it's more than I fairly deep knowledge about pretty much everything except for the cruises. So
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so I think we're going to do something with our friends over at DCL Duo or one of the other DCL shows, probably DCL Duo. But anyway, continue. But
so to dovetail onto that is, yeah, you know, if anybody has some advice for Tom in the group, you know, let's hear it. I'd love to
give me advice.
I'd love to hear what you guys have to share about cruising, and I'm sure Tom would as well. So, you know, please come check it out.
Help me.
And then, you know, if you want to help support the show, you can always go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out our different merch there. We got all the usual stuff. You can get your t-shirts and mugs and all that great stuff. And all the money from it just helps us continue to keep the show running. In the same vein, we also have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/welcomehomepod. You can check out our different levels of Patreon support, which our Patreon supporters get access to merch that has an exclusive logo that you can't get in the regular store. And our Patreon supporters also get access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we have great conversations about, stuff on the show and just, Disney stuff in general, because, there's always stuff to talk about.
And sometimes.
Yeah. And actually, and sometimes even just random topics like that's totally fair game too. So
yes,
please come, check it out and join us on the conversation. And last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or any of those platforms where you can leave stars or leave us a review, leave us a 5-star review. We do love seeing that. And it's just, it's just another way to help us get more visible to people out there. And, maybe somebody else will find it through the lovely search algorithms because you 5-starred it. Maybe you will contribute to our next listener. You never know. So yeah,
I actually
leave us
have
a review
to read.
And great. I was going to say, if you want to write us a review, please do. So what do you got, Tom?
This is from Mandak Jane. Okay. And it says,
right.
Food time. I need more food time in my life. I love listening to the guys talk about food. I'll listen to Tom and Trevor talk about anything related to Disney. Thank you.
Oh,
for that.
That's very nice.
That's a very kind thing to say.
Oh, we fulfilled this week, so you got some food time.
I do have to. The past 2 reviews are titled Food Time, so I guess I feel okay about playing Food Time.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
I enjoy Food Time. Anyway, so don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, any podcast app that's out there. You can find us. Just search for Welcome Home, and you might want to throw a Disney or DVC in there, and that'll help you find us very quickly. So just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company. As such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please contact a DVC representative or Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you, as always, to our sponsor, DVC Rental Store, for sponsoring this episode. And of course, World of DVC for being our continued partners. Join us next time for more Disney parks discussion and, of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.